Hello, hello! How's everyone doing today? Welcome to Speak Unstoppable. I'm Maria, and I'm so excited to see you here.
Hi everyone, I'm Joan. It's great to have you with us. We hope you're ready for another fun, practical English practice session.
Yes! Today, we're going to talk about something very important for parents and families: your child's school admission. This is such a real-life topic, and many of you might feel nervous about how to speak English in these situations.
Absolutely, Maria. And don't worry, we'll go step by step, just like we always do. By the end of this conversation, you'll feel confident talking to school staff, asking questions, and even making a phone call.
Before we start, don't forget to like this video if you want more real English conversations. And please, subscribe to Speak Unstoppable. We bring you these practical dialogues every week. Also, comment below. When is your child's school admission? Or, what's your biggest question about school admissions? We love reading your answers.
Exactly. Engagement helps you practice, and it also helps our community grow. Now, shall we jump in?
So, Joan, before we actually start the school admission dialogue, why do you think this section is important for our viewers?
Well, Maria, many parents get nervous in English. They don't know what to say when visiting the school office. If you practice this conversation, you'll know the right words, feel confident, and avoid misunderstandings.
Exactly. And it's not just parents. Even older siblings, relatives, or anyone helping can use these phrases. Knowing this conversation means you can communicate clearly and politely.
Right. And remember, it's not about perfect grammar. It's about real communication. So, let's dive into the dialogue.
Good morning. I'd like to ask about school admissions for my child, please.
Good morning. Of course. Could you tell me which grade you're interested in?
My daughter is 5 years old, and I'd like to apply for kindergarten.
That's wonderful. Kindergarten admissions are currently open. Are you familiar with our admission process?
Not exactly. Could you explain it to me?
Certainly. First, you'll need to fill out an application form. Then, we require some documents.
Which documents do I need to bring?
You'll need your child's birth certificate, 2 passport-size photos, and copies of the parents' ID cards.
Thank you. And is there any registration fee?
Yes, there is a small registration fee. You can pay it at the accounts office.
All right. And by when should I submit the application and documents?
It's best to submit everything within this week so we can process it quickly.
Joan, why do you think learning this kind of conversation is helpful?
Maria, it's simple. When parents know what to say, they feel confident, less stressed, and can clearly communicate their child's needs. Plus, they avoid common mistakes like saying, "I want admission," instead of, "I'd like to apply for admission."
Yes. And our viewers can also notice useful vocabulary words in these dialogues, like admission form, registration fee, submit documents, kindergarten, and process. Let's highlight a few words from our conversation. Admission form, the paper you fill to apply for school. Documents, birth certificate, photos, ID cards. Kindergarten, the first school grade for young children.
And remember, don't worry about complicated English. Just use simple sentences like, "I'd like to apply for kindergarten," or "Could you tell me the admission process?"
Many parents feel nervous when they speak English about school admissions. Even if you know the words, small mistakes can make sentences sound unnatural.
Exactly, Maria. And these mistakes are really common, even for people who know a lot of English words. For example, forgetting polite phrases, using wrong word order, or mixing up simple words.
Yes, and noticing these mistakes is the first step to speaking more confidently. Once you understand the patterns, you can self-correct naturally and speak without hesitation.
Let's practice some real examples and see how to make them sound better. We'll start with simple sentences parents often say.
I want admission for my child.
A better way to say it is, I'd like to apply for admission for my child.
Using I'd like instead of I want makes it more polite.
Yes, and you can also add please to make it even softer. I'd like to apply for admission for my child, please. This shows respect and good manners.
Got it. Politeness is very important in English conversations. My child is doing school.
Better, my child goes to school, or my child attends school.
Oh, so attends school is more formal and goes to school is casual?
Exactly. And you can also give extra details. My child attends a local preschool, or my child goes to a small kindergarten near our home. It sounds natural and gives clear information.
He no like homework.
Better, he doesn't like homework.
Ah, I always forget the third person singular.
It's okay. Mistakes like this are very common. You can also add extra sentences. He doesn't like homework, but he enjoys reading storybooks. This makes your conversation richer and shows good English.
I need form for my child.
Better, I need the admission form for my child, please.
Yes, adding please and using the full phrase sounds polite.
Exactly. You can also add, could you guide me on how to fill it out? This shows you're careful and respectful.
Let's look at some important vocabulary from these conversations. Apply for admission. To officially request a place at school. Example, I would like to apply for admission for my daughter in grade 1. Attends school, goes to school. Describing where your child studies. Example, my son attends a small preschool near our home. Homework, tasks children do after school. Example, he enjoys his homework sometimes but needs help with reading. Registration fee, payment required to complete admission. Example, how much is the registration fee for kindergarten? Documents, submit documents. Papers needed for admission. Example, I will submit all the documents by Friday. Notice how these words repeat across different conversations. Repeating them aloud will help you remember them naturally. He can speak English little.
Better, he can speak a little English.
Word order makes a big difference.
Yes. Another common mistake is, she goes school every day. Correct? She goes to school every day. Always remember the third person singular S in present tense.
I no understand admission form.
Better, I don't understand the admission form. You can also add, could you please explain it to me? Politeness plus clarity equals smooth conversation.
Oh, yes. I can also practice these sentences aloud to remember them better. Joan, why is it so helpful to practice these mistakes?
Because, Maria, knowing both mistakes and corrections lets parents self-correct naturally during real-life conversations. It also builds confidence.
Yes, and learners can notice English patterns, polite questions, word order, correct verbs, and vocabulary, all in one section.
Exactly. Repetition and examples are key to remembering English easily. Try answering these aloud. Which sentence do you need to correct the most when talking about your child? Can you say 3 sentences using attends school, apply for admission, and registration fee correctly? How would you politely ask a school staff member about the admission process?
Practice saying them slowly and repeat every day. Confidence grows when you practice repeatedly. Many parents feel a little nervous when speaking English on the phone. Unlike visiting the school office, you don't have facial expressions or gestures to help communicate.
Exactly, Maria. That's why using clear, polite sentences is very important. Even small mistakes can make your message unclear. But don't worry, practicing phone conversations makes it easy.
Yes, and for viewers, this is a chance to practice listening carefully, speaking slowly, and using polite phrases. All these skills will help you communicate confidently. Joan, why do you think phone call practice is different from office visits?
Because, Maria, on the phone, you only have your words to communicate. No gestures, no pointing at papers, just speaking clearly, politely, and slowly. Practicing this builds real confidence.
Exactly. And when viewers practice these conversations, they also reinforce the vocabulary from previous sections.
Right. Let's see a complete phone call example so viewers can follow along and practice.
Good afternoon. I'm calling to ask about admission for my child.
Good afternoon. Certainly. Could you tell me which grade you're interested in?
Grade 1. Could you please tell me if admissions are open?
Yes, admissions are currently open. Would you like information about the process and required documents?
Yes, please. That would be very helpful.
Sure. You'll need to fill out the admission form, submit your child's birth certificate, 2 passport-size photos, and copies of the parents' ID cards.
Thank you. Is there a registration fee?
Yes, there is a small registration fee. You can pay it at the school office.
And by when should I submit the documents?
It's best to submit everything within this week so we can process it quickly.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your help.
You're welcome. We look forward to welcoming your child. Have a great day.
You too. Let's highlight useful words and phrases from this conversation. Admission form. The paper to officially apply for school. Example, I will submit the admission form for my child tomorrow. Submit documents. Give all required papers to the school. Example, I will submit all the documents by Friday. Registration fee. Small payment for admission. Example, how much is the registration fee for grade 1? Could you please tell me? Polite way to ask questions. Example, could you please tell me the school timings? Would you like information? Polite way to offer guidance. Example, would you like information about the curriculum?
Notice how these phrases sound natural and polite. You can use them in office visits, phone calls, or emails.
I want to know about admission.
Better. Could you please tell me about admission for my child?
Ah, adding could you please makes it polite.
He is doing school?
Better, he attends school or he goes to school.
Yes, much clearer.
I don't understand form.
Better. I don't understand the admission form. Could you please explain it to me?
Oh, yes. Asking politely and using the correct sentence structure helps a lot. When you practice phone calls, speak slowly and clearly. Use polite phrases like please and could you? Repeat important words like admission form, registration fee, submit documents. Don't worry about mistakes. Just correct them and continue.
Exactly. Even if you make small errors, repeating sentences aloud will help you improve quickly.
Joan, why is phone call practice so important for learners?
Because, Maria, it helps parents listen carefully, pronounce clearly, and speak politely. These skills are different from face-to-face conversations.
Yes. And practicing phone calls reinforces vocabulary and polite sentences from office visits. It makes your English consistent in all situations.
Try these aloud. How would you start a phone call to ask about admission? Can you politely ask about required documents? How would you ask about registration fees?
Practice these sentences every day. Confidence grows with repetition, and soon, phone conversations will feel natural. Today, we've covered so many useful phrases and tips about school admissions. We've talked about how to speak naturally, common mistakes to avoid, and even phone call conversations.
Yes, Maria. And now it's time to review everything so viewers can remember, practice, and feel confident using these sentences in real life.
Joan, why is it important to review all these phrases and mistakes together?
Because, Maria, reviewing helps learners connect vocabulary, polite expressions, and correct sentence structures. Repetition strengthens memory and makes speaking automatic.
Exactly. And it also helps you notice patterns in English, like using attends school, apply for admission, or could you please? Let's quickly go over the most important words and phrases. Apply for admission. Requesting a school seat. Attends school. Goes to school. Describing your child's school. Admission form. Official paper for applying. Submit documents. Give required papers to the school. Registration fee. Small payment for enrollment. Polite phrases. Could you please tell me, would you like information? Thank you for your help.
And don't forget, practice saying these aloud, make short sentences, and try them in your own daily conversations.
Remember, viewers, I want admission for my child. Better, I'd like to apply for admission for my child. He no like homework. Better, he doesn't like homework. I don't understand form. Better, I don't understand the admission form. Could you explain it, please?
Exactly. Small corrections make your English polite, natural, and confident.
On the phone, always remember, speak slowly and clearly. Use polite phrases. Repeat important words like admission form, registration fee, submit documents.
Yes, and even if you make mistakes, just correct them and continue. Practice makes perfect.
Now it's your turn. We want to hear from you. Comment below. Which sentence from today's lesson will you use first in real life? Can you write 3 sentences using attends school, apply for admission, and registration fee correctly? Have you ever felt nervous speaking English on the phone or with school staff? How did you handle it?
Yes, And if you found this lesson helpful, don't forget to like this video, share it with a friend who wants to improve their English, and subscribe to our channel for more real-life English conversations.
We promise to keep bringing easy, practical, and friendly English lessons just like this. And we love reading your comments. They inspire us to make better content.
Remember, speaking English confidently is not about being perfect. It's about practicing, learning from mistakes, and trying again.
Exactly. Start today. Repeat these sentences aloud and use them when talking about school admissions. The more you practice, the more natural your English will become.
Before you go, ask yourself, which sentence will you practice first tomorrow? Can you politely ask about admission over the phone? What is one small step you can take today to improve your English?
Answer these in the comments. And remember, every small step counts. Keep practicing, and you'll feel unstoppable in English.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next lesson with more real-life English conversations.
Bye for now. Keep speaking, keep learning, and keep growing.